possible, and really without their funding, support, and guidance, the program would not be possible. But then also I want to thank all of you for all of the work that you do for Globe and for the Globe program in keeping the program vibrant and engaging your students and others in the program. For today, I'd like to share with you some exciting news that's taking place at the program office. I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to see the letter I sent to the community this week, or if you received the Globe e-newsletter, or if you've been on our Facebook site, but you likely know that we have some new additions to the Globe program office. And I want to take this opportunity to talk to you about those and answer your questions if you have any. So for the first time in the program's history, the Globe Help Desk will operate out of the Globe program office. This is truly a historic and watershed moment for Globe, as now we have all of our teams working together under the same roof. As you may or may not know, the program has always contracted out services of the help desk to a third party. And while working with that model was very effective for many years, it's no longer state of the art, as we now have a new Globe website, as you all know, and a growing community of teachers, students, and scientists around the world. And we need in-house resources to more effectively address your technical and programmatic questions. So currently our new help desk is up and running. We have hired top-level talent from some of the most reputable companies in the world with years of experience operating and managing a help desk and service desk ready to assist you with your questions around the website and other programmatic questions. In addition, our new community support team is fluent in Arabic, English, and Spanish. And I think this is a great addition and will help our community around the world. And I trust that you will make the newest members of the Globe family feel welcome. You might be wondering why the help desk is now operating out of the Globe program office in Boulder, Colorado. For the last few years, Dr. Teresa Kennedy and her team at the University of Texas at Tyler had operated and managed the Globe help desk. And after 14 years of service to Globe, and Dr. Kennedy has decided to take a step back and run the Tyler Texas Globe Partnership. And we cannot thank Teresa enough and her team for their service and dedication to Globe, and we look forward to collaborating with her and her team in the future. So the help desk, as I said, is fully operational here now at Boulder, and we have received questions from people already and have been answering those as they come into us and helping people with issues related to the website. The other two areas that I'd like to address are the U.S. country coordinator position and then also the international position, because as Teresa has stepped back from those positions as well, we need to fill those particular positions. In the next few days, in relation to the U.S. country coordinator, I will be releasing an RFP for partners in the U.S. to apply to run that U.S. country coordinator position. And there will be more details available on that shortly. But this is really a way of having another partner run this particular aspect for us and really get another partner engaged in doing that. So we're looking forward to putting that out there to the community and having the community respond with some applications so that we can select a partner to run this important position. The next position is the international position, and what I have been looking at is trying to get a person in place for early January that would coordinate the different aspects of the international position, working with the Globe regional offices and also working with the country coordinators to enhance the program. So I'm hopeful that that position will actually be in place by early to mid-January. So we're looking forward to these exciting changes that have happened in the program. We are looking forward to moving the program forward and looking at getting all of the support that you need from us so that you can continue your great work that you're doing for the program. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to take those questions from you now. Okay, so I have a question here about um, the the U.S. coordinator position. So as I said, this will be, I'm hoping that in the next few days, a call for applications will go out for this. And that once the process is in place, uh, there will be a deadline for these applications to be in here to the Globe Program Office. And then there will be a selection process made for a partner to take up the role of the U.S. country coordinator. And I'm hopeful that that process should be completed towards the end of January so that we would have a new U.S. country coordinator in place by then. So I'm getting a question here, I think in relation to the website and some of the challenges in relation to um, getting, let me see here, some of the issues around schools, it seems, trying to become activated in order to input their data. So what I would suggest there is that we have our help desk folks work with you. I think that question is coming from Rafat. Rafat, if we will have our help desk folks work with you to solve that issue. In relation to the website in general, we do know that there are bugs, and we are still trying to work through those bugs with Raytheon to solve those bugs in particular. And so we're grateful when people bring those bugs to our attention. We work with Raytheon to resolve them as quickly as we can, and we're doing that right now with some of the workshop administration. Um, Issues that people have been facing. And so we're doing our best to really solve those as quickly as possible and also to solve those particular ones. Um, so for, uh, and in the particular case of the teachers needing to activate their schools, teachers have to be registered and trained before creating the school and associating the school with them. So that's an important thing to remember. Um, there is a question here. Are we going to have any workshop for the new Globe website for country coordinators? Yes, we are planning on having, it may not be a workshop, but certainly it'll be some sort of perhaps a webinar or something like this, a question and answer session. But yes, there will be training and information flowing from here to you um, on the use of the new website and certain aspects of the website. So those will be organized as these bugs are actually being solved, so that we can make sure that um, um, the bugs are solved before we actually um, have the webinars or those particular training sessions. So, but yes, we will have sessions to get you used to the new website. We realize that it is a new website for everyone, and so we do want to make sure that you're well equipped and have the information to be able to share it with your country coordinators or with your teachers or with anybody else that's involved in the program. And so we will certainly do those. Okay, so I'm getting piece that I'm getting some messages that the volume is low. Is that uh, any better for people? If a person who said they can't hear me can answer, that would be great. Okay, so some people are saying that they're hearing me fine. Um, So there's a question on when is the website going to be finished completely? Um, that will be, we are planning that it's probably going to be sometime early next year. So we are looking, we don't have a specific date in mind yet, but we are working on that. And once we get a better understanding of when that will be completed, when the website will be stable, we will certainly let the community know and inform all of the community in through various methods. So emails, on the website itself. We will have a couple of question and answer sessions probably also around it. And as I said earlier on, we will have more of these question and answer sessions. So we'll have one of these probably every month. And it won't always be, we will try to focus them perhaps on certain things. Some of them may focus on the website. Some may focus on other areas like the education and the science and what's happening in those areas and so on. But we certainly want to have more of those available for you. So to answer your question, we're planning that it's going to be sometime next year, early next year. We're hopeful. We will be working with Raytheon to resolve the issues as quickly as we can so that we can get the website stable as quickly as possible. Uh, Bara has a question. Is there any plan to connect the regional help desk offices so that we can share experience from regions? I think it might be helpful. I think that's a great idea, and I'd love to see how we can do that. It would be great. I have talked with, I think, all of the regional offices this week, and maybe what we can do is actually have a telecon together or some sort of a conversation together with all of the regional offices and figure out how we can actually communicate better across the regional offices. So I think that's a great idea, and it's something that we can actually do so that the regional offices can share their experiences and learn from each other, just as we also learn from you. Okay. Any other questions? I have a question from Germany, and not um, I'm not understanding what your question is, and I'm wondering if you could either rephrase it for me, please, or um, if you could send it to me offline and we can talk. I'm not understanding specifically what your question is referring to. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. I see that Anna has rephrased the question, and it's not about the website, and that's fine. Um, okay, so Anna, I think the best thing is for us to talk separately about that. You're wondering about the situation of Globe in Germany, and I think that it would be good if we talked about that separately, and I'm happy to do that with you. So um, after this, if you can email me, my email is tmurphy@globe.gov. I'd be happy to talk with you about that because as the new director, I'm not perhaps fully aware of everything in relation to the situation. So I'd prefer to talk with you offline about that rather than me saying anything. So, um, okay, Bill has a question regarding the online training and how's that proceeding. Great question, Bill. We are currently at a stage of sending the draft modules back out to the community. We've been working with a committee drawn from the community to create the modules and to actually get them to a stage where we can actually see a draft of those. And so we are getting that draft back out to the community. We are working on a very aggressive timeline for this particular project, and we do want to get it out into the um, um, out into the whole community sometime in February. So we are working very aggressively, as I said, to really get this done. And we have, as for those of you who may or may not know, we are putting together some online training modules. There will be 3 modules initially. The first one will be an introduction to Globe and to the Globe program. The second one will be looking at clouds, and the third one will be focusing on contrails. And so this will be a mechanism to get people trained in the Globe program through this particular online mechanism, and we're really looking forward to that. It was also part of the strategic plan, and so as we move the program forward, I do want to remind people that um, we are keenly aware of the strategic plan that was endorsed by the community, and that Andy Tasker helped guide through that whole process. And so all of the work that we do at GPO is guided by that document. And so that is e-training is part of that document, and we are working very aggressively to get that completed and get it out to the community so that you all can share this with teachers and get more teachers trained in these particular protocols. So Marcy has just made a comment that it's really great to see how much action is going on in the Globe Facebook. And yes, our communications team has been doing a great job with the social media. And I've heard from partners around the world and country coordinators around the world that they really enjoy having Globe on the social media so much, and how vibrant and exciting the sites, the Facebook page in particular looks. So that is great. Um, Okay, so a couple of questions here. So the regional support office, for who they will report to. So for right now, they will report to the international person just as before. As I said, we will have we're hoping to have a new international person in place sometime in January, early January, and so we will certainly um, we will certainly the regional offices will certainly continue to work with that international person to send their reports and to coordinate activities with them. Okay, let me just go back up here. Okay, so we have a question around, I think, the aerosol device. So, so just to give you an update on some of the other work that has been going on in relation to the science. So there was a science review panel, as some of you may know, that was put together to actually review the science within Globe, look at the protocols and so on, and recommend various changes or not to different protocols and the science within the program. And so one of the aspects of that is looking at new instrumentation that may actually come into play for protocols and so on. And so we are looking at, based on recommendations from the review panel, looking at different types of sun photometers that may be used, but that's going through a whole vetting process within GPO and with the sponsors and some other folks. And so we will be looking at that next year and trying to implement possibly some of those recommendations from the science review panel next year and into the next year as well after that. Um, Okay, and there's another question about the e-training modules. And so, as I said, we're working very, very aggressively to get those into place, hopefully by early spring of this coming year. Again, there will be 3 modules for that. The first one will be Introduction to Globe. The second one will be an Introduction to the Atmosphere. And the third one will be Clouds and Contrails. And so teachers will be able to go through this online learning mechanism and become Globe teachers. And this will be a great way of increasing the number of teachers within the program. And I hope that once this is released to the community, you'll be very happy with what we've produced in cooperation with community members and getting feedback from them on the different aspects of the training modules. Okay, so we have a question about will the Globe website be translated into Arabic? One of the currently the language support is only in the 5 UN languages. However, there is a localization feature within the new website which will help with the translation to Arabic. And again, if you are interested in doing that, we'd love to work with you on that particular aspect. And we can do that through our folks at the help desk. So we would be very excited about showing you that particular tool, that localization feature within the website, so that we can help you to get materials translated into Arabic on the website. Uh, Back to the e-training. Will it be in Spanish? Right now, um, right now uh, the modules will just be in English. We will be looking at um, the possibility of presenting these in additional languages. This will be something that will be dependent probably on budget, and so we will be looking at how we can make that work. But initially, the training will be the modules will just be in English. You're welcome. So the regional office support, as I said, will report to the international area, and we are hoping that we will have the new international person in place in January. Um, the the director, I will also be working hopefully with the regional support offices to look perhaps at certain ways. To enhance communication, as Bara had mentioned earlier. Is there a way of getting the regional offices maybe to communicate with each other? And I think that's a great idea. And so I'm hoping that I and the new international person would actually look at that as a possibility and make that happen. So, but for right now, the plan is that the regional support offices will continue to report directly to the international manager. Um, so, Bara, I'm not sure what you mean by the media response. I'm wondering if you mean how the new, for instance, perhaps maybe on, um, oh, more interesting globe. Yes, the because of Facebook and so on, we remember that before April, we didn't really have any social media presence. And so now we have that social media presence. We are getting a lot of hits on there. We gain about 2,000 fans every month. And a lot of those fans end up visiting the Globe website, which is really great, and learning about the Globe program. So um, it certainly has been very effective in getting people and driving people to the website, and in getting more people interested in the program and making them aware of the program. There's also, for instance, the Kilimanjaro expedition that happened. Um, that was also featured heavily on the social media and drew a lot of media attention. in the sense of having media reports both nationally here in the U.S. but also internationally, following the expedition and the great work that was happening there. So let me just check here. There's another question. So Farad has another question about the aerosol device, and um, we'd be happy to talk to you about that device that has been developed. And so if you could send us some information about that, that would be really great. And we can look at that and once we get some more information from you about that, that would be great to actually get that. So if you could send send information about that to us so that we could look at it and look at the specifications of it, that would be great. Thank you. So Anna's asking a question about cooperate with programs from the school and education programs of ESA, and I'm assuming, but I'm just going to clarify with you, are you talking about the Ecological Society of America for ESA, um, or is that a different organization? Oh, the European Space Agency. Okay. Um, okay. So there's sometimes cooperate. There, as we move forward, as we move the program forward, we're always open to cooperating with other programs and seeing where we fit well together and moving the program forward. So certainly, as we look at the European Space Agency or other organizations like that, we would certainly be open to cooperative plans with them to engage the program. I know, for instance, that um, there's also we're also considering, and as we have in the past, working with organizations like the WMO, and so we're certainly open to working with other agencies to promote the program and to promote students and scientists working together to the ends of understanding the Earth. And Andrea has, when will the new committees start working as a team? And Andrea, which committee are you talking about there, please? Um, so the committee that Andrea was referring to was the one that's um, documented in the Way Forward document. And so the Way Forward document, as people know, was put together by a panel to look at how the program would move forward in the future. And so that committee, I believe, is not being formed yet. And that will also, that document, I guess, is still under review in the sense of what elements will actually be taken from that document and perhaps put into the new solicitation for the program that will be coming out early next year. Um, so okay, so after the annual, oh, sorry, are there other online training modules being developed? Right now, the plan for the online training is that we will develop these three modules that are really the around the introduction to Globe, and then two atmosphere modules. And for right now, that is the plan, that we will create these and then disseminate, put them out there so that the community can use them. And then given the response, which we're hopefully um, um, that the response to this will be good, how we will look at then whether there is a possibility of other ones being produced and what those other ones might be. And so would they be, will we continue in the area of atmosphere, or would there be other ones that would be produced from some of the other areas like soils or land cover or something, some of the other protocols? So, but the plan for right now is just to really focus on these three to get these operational, up and running, see how it works, see if the community is interested in doing more of these, and then we will respond to that. Just a note from Bill on the fiscal responsibility around online training and the training strategy. And yes, we see the online as being a very good entree for some people in some countries into the program. But we also do value still, as I know you do, the face-to-face training, because that also really is a good way of engaging people. And but in some cases, and in some cases, it really is the e-training that will get people involved and grow more. And so we're really excited about that possibility. Yes, and also I think the e-training would also be a good way of people perhaps getting refreshed or in those particular protocols. or if they had been trained quite a while ago and really want to get really engaged in the program, it could also be a good way for them to do that. Okay, so there's a question about the GLE. So we announced a few weeks ago that the next Globe Learning Expedition will take place in the summer of 2014. It was rescheduled from 2013. And so there will be a new round of applications sought to actually host the GLE in 2014. And so that application process will begin sometime in towards the end of January or maybe early February. So we will keep you informed of that process, and we look forward to people applying for the GLE and to host it in the summer of 2014. And just one other point then, because the GLE is it has been rescheduled. There will be an annual meeting this coming year in 2013, and that's going to be held at the University of Maryland and at Goddard Space Flight Center in July. So Bara has asked about starting early in schools, and I'm certainly a big proponent of starting um, lots of science and math very early in schools, and really getting kids engaged very early on through nature trips or through particular experiences. So we do have the Globe Elementary materials, which are available for really trying to get kids engaged at an earlier age. And we would look forward to partners or country coordinators sharing their experiences about how they've been able to do this. And the new website does allow for that type of communication to be enhanced between the different countries and the different partners and so on. So we would certainly um, uh, welcome any of that information that you would send us, but we certainly would believe that Globe, parts of Globe, the observing, for instance, the simple skills of observing and classifying that are used in science can be done very easily, and Globe is a perfect vehicle for doing that with kids that are very young. Um, there's another question. Will the 17th annual meeting have students and teachers training? So last year, when the meeting was held in Minnesota, we had an addition of students and teachers coming for a student symposium to share their research. And that was really very successful. I think that everybody who attended that and who got to see the research that was shown by the students really enjoyed that aspect of the meeting. And so we are definitely planning on having that as part of the meeting again this year. And so we will be, there is a committee, as I said, or I may not have said this, so there is a committee, a planning committee for the 2013 annual meeting. And we will be looking at having that student symposium as part of the annual meeting. So there's a question on the student virtual conference in 2013. Yes, we are planning on hosting that again, and there will be more information coming out on that at the beginning of 2013. Just going back to the Student Science Symposium, um, that was at the meeting last year, the annual meeting last year. So we are hoping to get some information out to the community as well about that, so that people can select the teachers and the students that could attend that meeting. So we will be getting information out about the requirements or the specifications for the posters and so on, so that partners can begin their own process about how do you actually select people, and how do you judge people's the student work and so on, to be submitted for that. Marcy has a question about the student posters at the annual meeting. Were they photographed? I believe they were photographed by various people, and we can actually check on that, Marcy, and get back to you about that. So I have a question from Anna. We took part in some special programs such as CloudSat or the Flexi pilot study. Is there a plan for similar possibilities? Um, so um, if you're referring to if there will be any more perhaps ESSPs or something like that, at this point in time, there is not a plan to have a similar piece to an ESSP, for instance. But you can still continue in CloudSat, and it would also actually, you could get involved with the Student Research Climate Campaign, and some of the intensive observation periods there would also be something that you could be really engaged with and engage your teachers and students in that particular piece. Thank you for your participation today, Martha Ann. Thanks, Bill, for your participation as well. Any final questions from anyone or comments? So, will the 2014 GLE and the annual meeting be together? Yes, typically, when the GLE is held, there is an annual meeting that occurs at the same time in the same location. Typically, I think it's a shorter annual meeting because it's part of the GLE, but they are held together. You're welcome. Thank you, Marcy, for your participation as well. And we are getting close to the end of the time here, so if there are any other questions, if people could ask those, that would be great. So Andrea has a question about the new person at the international. Is he going to be charged? So I'm assuming you're asking, Andrea, um, um, about trying to get some of the countries who were engaged before back, re-engaged in the program. And yes, that is certainly one of the things that this person will be looking at. And in fact, that would also be something perhaps that the person would work with the Globe Regional Office in that area, is how to re-engage some countries who, for various reasons, have not been as active as previously in the program. So that is certainly something that we will want to do. That's also part of the strategic plan. So we really do want to re-engage some countries and engage other countries more in the program. So yes. Um, Countries who have changed country coordinator do not. Right. Yes. So so we will be looking at how do we create a plan to actually re-engage those countries, and also how the international person could work with the regional offices to make that work happen. And Anna, yes, we will talk about offline. We will talk about Germany. You're welcome. Thank you for your participation, Anna. You're welcome, Jessica. Sure. So we are getting close to the end here, and I appreciate everybody for taking the time out of their day to come and talk with me here today, or at least ask me questions. And I look forward to hosting more of these in the future. And as I said, we here at the Globe Program Office will host more of these in the future, so that you can get your questions answered. And we will also use this as a forum for some community input, because we would like to know what you're doing in your region and in your country and with your partnership, so that we can actually get that out to the community at large. So stay tuned. As I said, we will do more of these. We'll let you know when the next one is on. We may focus them on a particular theme, or we may just leave it as a general question and answer session. But again, thank you all for taking time out of the day, out of your day, to be involved in this, and thank you most sincerely for all the work that you do for Globe. It is a great program, and we can all make it better, and we can all move it forward together. And again, I'd just like to thank our sponsors for their funding and support to make this program happen. So I think that's it, unless there are any other questions. I don't see any more. So thank you. Happy New Year to folks, and we will be in January pretty shortly. So um, uh, I want to wish you all the best for the new year. You're welcome.